both of you need to see that.
It's just before she sings. Hi, I'm Michael Barker-Caven. I'm the revival director of La Bohème. I think it's better stronger from there. Such a remarkable work, arguably the finest, most complete, most accessible opera, and it's such a gem. You don't get that opportunity too often, so when this one came up, I snatched it, and it has been a dream because it is such a remarkable piece. We have two casts because singers of this caliber and the demands of this sort of work means that they can only sing it every so often, i.e. every day or two, with the gaps in between. And what we wanted to achieve was that vibrant, dynamic, day-to-day feel of a musical, where our audience can come on any night they choose and have the feeling that they're coming into a show that's exploding with energy and very alive. Essential to allow each cast to have its own process, its own journey, because this isn't about just shoehorning a group of singers into a preset shape. This is about bringing back to life a magnificent production as if it was the very first time it was produced. It is full of the most sumptuous music, moments that will stop your heart, make the hair on the back of your neck rise, give you joy, laughter, shock, sadness. Everything is in there. Believe deeply in stories and the power of stories to bind with an audience and give them an experience in the theatre that they cannot have elsewhere.
I am Sébastien Guez, I am a French tenor, and I will sing the part of Rodolfo, a young poet. In La Bohème there is a lot of things to do on stage. You are running everywhere, like at the first act, fourth act, so it's a lot of energy that you have to bring to your character and to stage. So it's better to have some training before.
This afternoon it was hard. No, but just I'm going to have rest to make this.
That I love in this, I mean, I'm speaking more about Rodolfo character. It's because finally it's kind of growing up. He starts like a teenager, crazy, jumping everywhere with friends, and after he's in love and start to be more like a child to teenager, and then like a new man, and to finish at the end to be faced to the death, and finally when he's in conflict with that, he start to be a man.
My name is Gabriella, and I'll be singing Mimi. My character, she's a young seamstress. It's a very complex character as she's dealing with lots of problems, issues. She's falling in love, she's going to die at the end, which is not very nice. Yes, she's one of the leading characters in the opera. And she loves life, and she's a very simple person, poor person, and but rich in emotions. I love Puccini. It's my favorite composer. So I think about this production, Michael, the director, he said from the beginning, you know, even if it's a revival, I wanted to bring the freshness, and if you have an ideas, bring it up. I mean, like, he's open to anything as long as it's pretty reasonable, and the colleagues, everything is just a very extraordinary chemistry between us.
My name is Duncan Rock, and I play the character of Marcelo. I've never done a production set of Bohème set in this time period. And I think setting it in 1950s Paris is a very good way of allowing modern audiences to still connect with the piece, because it doesn't feel so old. But it's still, the time period really allows a lot of the themes to ring true, the post-war themes of still rationing and some of the depression, but then with the feeling of energy and vigor and new thinking that brought in the 60s. And I think the piece sits very well in this time period, which makes it really exciting. I think Bohème is the best first opera, actually. It's completely accessible to any audience. The music immediately touches on your heartstrings, even if you don't know what the words are. And of course, the text is fantastic, and it's completely relatable. They're just people. There's no fairies or gods or anything like that. They're just people who fall in love and fall out of love and have struggles. And I think everyone should come see it as their first opera. And also, it's not too long, which is good.
My name is Sky Ingram, and I am singing Musetta in La Bohème. I think the best thing about playing Musetta would be the different layers that she has in her character, and each scene shows a different one. So her first appearance, she's the ultimate diva. She's super confident. She's really independent, very sexy, very sensual. And then you get to contrast that with a very upsetting scene, a big argument, a big fight, showing a much more raw, passionate side of her. And then I think one of the best scenes, even though Act 2 is really fun and she does get a lot of attention and she gets the aria, Act 4 really shows her true core, her true character, and she just takes command and she becomes very real. Act 2 really is her bigger scene, where she really gets to not just sing dialogue, but the character sings within the opera. She actually has a song. So Lorna and I really get to get into the vocal side of the character, not just sing speech. So that's a really exciting moment, and just the uber diva-ness of Act 2 is really fun to play.
La Bohème is an opera about young people being in love, and to do it with people that are actually rather close to the age group that they were meant to portray is a wonderful thing. We have a wonderful dynamic going on here. People from all over the country meet. It's two casts, so it's a lot of young people here meeting and creating their own relationships and their own dynamics, and there's a lot of making friendships and a lot of going beyond that, and that's exactly what the opera is about. So to have a cast like that is actually quite perfect for La Bohème. The challenge of having two casts is that if they're invited to bring their own personality into this, which they have to be invited to bring it to life, both versions will be slightly different. There will be slightly different tempos, there will be slightly different transitions. Our director, Michael, is wonderful in encouraging each cast to do their own thing, which makes it very alive and very vivid. It's one of these operas where so many things happen in such a short amount of time. So much drama, so much passion, so much ups and downs, so much action. This is certainly something that somebody who's not so used to opera and might not be ready for, 5 hours of Tristan, will very much enjoy.
Well, today we have just run the opera for the first time. So this morning, one of the casts did it and we watched, and then this afternoon, my cast just ran the opera and the other cast watched. Doing rehearsals in front of the other cast is really, really important because we cover the shows that we're not doing. So if our alternate were to be ill, we would have to cover for them. So it's a little bit tricky because although it's the same production, we have quite different blocking in places. So it's a bit of an exercise in concentration. I think if I had to go on now, I'd be a little bit too nervous. But it's both casts are really, really supportive, and there's no sort of animosity or rivalry. So I mean, it's a very, very supportive environment, which is exactly what you need for a piece like Bohème.
This week we've rehearsed for the first time with the orchestra. We've done the first act, and I think it went pretty well.
It's always special when you start with the orchestra because you work a lot on stage about things that you have to do, and here with music you have to find compromise about that you want to do and that you can do finally with orchestra, and also from a point of view of conductors and stage directors. It's the first day with orchestra, so we will go back in stage to work again. Now we have a better idea about how the orchestra is going, so we can go back and find more details in stage. I feel that the story, the art is more complete when we are doing with stage. That more like, of course, we are sit here, we can play a little bit, but it's not like, I prefer when all the energies are together with technicians, lights, everything. It's making more, I don't know, more energy.
Well, yeah, here we are in the theatre now and on this wonderful set. And we're in a slightly unique situation in that my cast is having their final orchestral rehearsals, but we've already watched the other cast have their dress rehearsal. So this is a very, very different situation to what we're used to. I really like to treat the dress rehearsal as a performance, which is why I'm quite happy that there will be some audience. So I do like to treat the dress rehearsal actually as the first performance. I love opening night because if you feel ready, it's just a chance to show what you've been working at. And I really think with this cast and this fantastic orchestra and conductor and the direction and everything, this show is quite special, and I think it's exciting to be able to present the work that we've done over the last few weeks to hopefully a nice big audience.
My name is Kate Preston-Davey and I'm the stage manager on La Bohème. This particular production, this is my fourth time working on this show, so you'd think I would know it inside out, which is actually quite helpful because a lot of it did come flooding back when we started rehearsing over the road in the rehearsal rooms. I think one of the nicest things about being a stage manager is the fact that you get to work with so many different people, and also it's not the same production. I mean, the idea of working in the West End, I imagine it can be great fun, but for me, I just don't think I could do the same show night after night after night. This is my 75th show at Opera North, which they will involve different casts, different chorus sometimes, different directors, designers, so it's a whole blend of different people that you get to meet, which makes it more interesting in coming to work. Also, obviously, the music, which is just sublime, something like Bohème particularly, where you can sing along in the wings, not too loudly, but they're just beautiful tunes, and it's sung well, and it's just a joy to be around, really.
Hi, I'm Abby Jones. I'm the Deputy Stage Manager for La Bohème at Opera North. During the show, it's my job to call all the technical cues. So for this particular show, we've got lighting cues. We have a projector, so I call projection cues. We also have a fire with live flame during Act 1. So I tell someone when to make the fire look brighter and when to make it look not so bright. The first 4.5 minutes of Act 2 for me in particular is quite busy because I have a lot of lighting cues which have to be very, very precise. The lighting designer, when they designed it back in '93, decided it was a good idea to put lots of snap cues in, which is very challenging for a DSM, but also very enjoyable. So I don't stop talking for the first 4.5 minutes of Act 2. But it's quite nice to stay out of the chaos with what's all the running round.
I love the moment where you have time to do your hair and your makeup because you have no choice but to have a moment of calm, which is very important, especially if you're really excited or a bit nervous. But also it's like putting on the mask, I think. I'm very excited about opening night. I'm a singer who I get a bit nervous just before, but I use that. It's like my adrenaline burst, and then once I'm on the stage I feel in a safe, comfortable place again and I can just enjoy. I'm really excited because Musetta is so playful and there's quite a few moments where she will do an aside to the audience, and so I'll get that moment to connect with them. So I love doing that. So I'm very excited about that. I've got a beautiful aria to sing. It's a great story. I've got some really good friends in the cast, so I'm just going to have lots of fun with my friends. And we're going to do a fresh, young version of La Bohème. Some of us just finishing college or just recently finishing college, and we're going to have so much fun. We're going to bring a different spice to it, and I think we're going to turn some heads as best as we can, and going to have lots of fun.